That's the other one I wanted to check. Let me look at it.
Okay, we'll call the 23rd meeting of this year, Village Board of Trustees, Village of Depew, March 13th, 2023 at 7:05. Sorry that we're late, a little long-winded in the pre-board. We'll do the pledge with Trustee Kasevich.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And tonight, you don't have to listen to me, we have Pastor Mike Rigglesworth from Centerport Community Church.
Thank you. Let's pray. Lord, we thank you. We thank you that the earth is yours and everything in it, and the fullness thereof. And your word tells us that you gave this world to us to steward and to manage and to take somewhere, to build systems and structures, and in this case, government systems to help move society into something good and productive. Lord, your word also tells us that you appoint all authority to reward good and punish evil and make decisions for the good of society. And Lord, we thank you for your sovereignty and your goodness and your care. And Lord, I pray that you would give wisdom and discernment and clear direction to the leaders here today. Guide and direct the conversation between leaders and the people in the village. And Lord, would you, by your grace, cover it all. Lord, we pray all these things in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Pastor, anything you'd like to share about the church at this time of the year?
I will say this. We are in the midst of preparing for our summer VBS, so you'll probably be hearing more about that. We have entrusted the ladies of our church to plan that. It's in much better hands than myself or our assistant pastor, I'll just say that. The women tend to do a better job. But we are also, we partnered with you last May, in doing a service project. We had the opportunity to go to the Don Polsky building and talk with Audrey and some of the work that she's been doing there. And we are in conversation with her about doing something similar to that in that building, bringing our church people over to partner with you in that. So it's not really an update as to what we're doing to get you to join. It's more of what we're trying to do to partner with you and make the community a little bit better.
Very good.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Thank you.
Notification of fire exits.
The emergency exits are located to my left and to the rear of the room. In the event of an alarm or emergency, please move in an orderly fashion to the exits and evacuate the building.
And roll call today.
Trustee Adolph?
Present.
Trustee Ziamba?
Here.
Trustee Kasevich?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Hammernick? Mayor Pearson?
Here. Approve village board meeting minutes from the February 27th, 2023 meeting.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. To approve the village board meeting minutes for February 27th, 2023.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion's carried. So there'll be public comment on the agenda items only until we get to the portion of the meeting where it's any other concerns that you might have. So first up tonight is permission to advertise for the tax cap override. It's a yearly resolution that we do in the event after the tentative budget is released on the 20th next week. We need to see whether or not we can not exceed the 2% tax cap that the state has in place this year. This allows us, in the event that we can't sharpen our pencils to 2% or less, we can, that allows us to go over it. Second is permission to advertise for the reorganization meeting, which will follow next Tuesday's elections. The reorg meeting is the start of the new year for the village board, and that's on April the 3rd at 7 o'clock. Permission to advertise for the tentative budget, which, as I mentioned, will be prepared and released to the public on the 20th by 5 o'clock that day. And we'll be able to discuss that 1 week later, and anybody is welcome to ask any questions that they see in a tentative budget. And of course, just as a preclusion, the village trustees will work on that. That's almost 4 weeks in which to produce the final budget. I always like to look at the tentative budget as sort of the wish list, Christmas list, if you would. Permission for the fire department parties, permission to sign the Firefly agreement, which is the new company that is managing the LoSAP for the fire department. We hope to have a resolution tonight to adopt the firefighters' local law, which is the 10% on the assessment and a tax reduction for firefighters. How many years? 5 years?
2 years.
2 years? 2 years.
2 years.
With 2 years of service. As our attorney pointed out 2 weeks ago, it'll be incumbent upon the 2 assessing towns on the village, that's Chickawaga and Lancaster, to pass theirs. And I would imagine if one of those towns decides not to, I'm looking back at past Chief Maciejewski and past Chief and former Mayor Art Domino, it'd be one of those kinds of things that you could maybe lobby them to see if we get that passed. So we're hearing maybe Lancaster might not be. Something we'll have to look at when it comes. Permission to award the bid. So we made a change in the way we're going to heat and actually air condition the pavilion in Fireman's Park. It's going to be a geothermal system. We had one bidder last Friday. Bid came in at the number that we were expecting. And by the time, the number that's written in here is $83,000. By the time the village realizes all the back-end rebates and tax credits, that comes down to around $42,000. So, which is actually under the budget that we had for regular gas heat there. And it'll be an eco-friendly thing. Permission to advertise for the sewer improvement project, Phase 6. We jumped this onto this board meeting so that we could get it in the B and advertised a couple weeks earlier. So that's an addition to tonight as well. That's all the items on the agenda tonight. Oh, what are they? Oh, I'm sorry. Jeez, we've only been beating this horse to death here. Number 8, approve prohibited of short-term rental at 52 Middlesex. So that's also on the agenda tonight. So we'll get to that. So if there's any comments on those items, we'll welcome them now. Just come to the podium, state your name and address, and we'll answer those. Anything outside those realm we'll answer later on in the meeting. Okay. We have a special guest today from the SBA, which we posted on, did we post it on both the website and Facebook? So the SBA came into town on Friday. I just happened to see the gentleman who's from Minnesota? Minnesota. And you'll be here for the week, I guess, right? Okay. So they're announcing that the SBA put forth a program for those that might have been impacted in their homes due to the blizzard. And I'm going to cede the floor to our SBA representative.
Good evening, everybody, and appreciate the opportunity to be here. My name's Jim Accurso. I'm a public affairs specialist with the Small Business Administration, Office of Disaster Recovery and Resilience. And I noticed...
Can you spell your last name, sir?
Oh, Accurso, A-C-C-U-R-S-O.
In Minnesota.
St. Paul, Minnesota, yeah.
All right.
I noticed that some of the flyers that I met Mayor Peterson last week when I came in, and some of these flyers are in the back if anybody would like to see them. We've got our fact sheet and our flyer related to the latest disaster declaration here in Western New York as a result of Winter Storm Elliott. And as a result of that, we are offering to homeowners and renters, nonprofits, and small businesses disaster loans in the form of $2 million disaster loans for business recovery. So if a business had any failures, loss of property, loss of income on the economic injury disaster loans, that's also a $2 million cap. And then homeowners and renters can get up to $200,000 for property damage. Renter can get up to $40,000. We're encouraging everyone to come into the 2 centers that we have operating here in Erie County through Thursday at 4 o'clock to apply for either the home disaster loan or the business physical disaster loan. But the deadline to apply for those is actually April 28th. So if you can't come in and talk to someone, if you have we're encouraging people to come in and ask about the loans if they have any questions related to the damage. Again, maybe they lost power, maybe they had water damage, maybe I talked to, I was on the radio today and I heard of a lot of wind damage even from the storm. So, flying projectiles and things like that. But we're encouraging folks to come in and apply. There's no fee to apply and there's no obligation to take our loans if they're awarded. They can be up to 30 years and the interest rates are 2.3 or 3.3 and less. And actually, right now, any loan that you get, and again, there's no obligation, any loan that someone were to be awarded, it's deferred for payback is deferred 12 months, so a year, and no accrued interest. So it's in effect, it's like a grant. It's the SBA's way of helping you get back up on your feet, in times of disaster. I travel the country along with my cohorts, so we're in and out of these situations all the time. We know folks have been through a lot, and then the last thing they want to do is really talk to a government person when they've got to be cleaning up their house and kind of get everything back in order. But we are here to help, and we encourage everyone to either come into the center, apply online at disasterloanassistance.sba.gov, or if somebody wanted a paper application, they could call 800-659-2955. Paper application would be mailed to you. Again, the deadline for those to apply is April 28th. The economic injury disaster loans, the deadlines for those are November 27th. And that could be any of your businesses that say you weren't able to get out and meet a client because you were frozen out or ice or whatever, either on your end or their end, or clients couldn't come to see you. You still had to make payroll. You still had to, pay your bills and the like. So it's an economic, that's a working capital loan that we offer. So with the 3 loan types, and like I say, this is all got to be associated with Winter Storm Elliott, and any of the occurrence of the damage had to be between December 23rd and December 28th.
And the local area where you can go to meet you till Thursday?
Yeah.
Is that the Erie County Fire Training?
Fire training, right, in Cheektowaga, or the Grider Center in Buffalo. And there we have I think we have 4 customer service reps at Grider and 2 in Cheektowaga. So process takes maybe about an hour. It's just like applying for any other loan. Might take about an hour. You need to bring in all your necessary paperwork, and then you can maybe get a payout within 4 to 5 weeks if everything goes along. It'll get run up to our center. You'll get assigned a loan officer. Loan officer will work with you, recommend the amount, recommend the terms, and then within 5 days of getting the assigned documents back to us, folks can maybe get a check within another few days after that.
So what do they have to bring with them, like photos and estimates and receipts?
Exactly, yeah. And then we may do a damage assessment. We may send someone on site, or a lot of times our damage assessments are from the air. Yeah, but there has to.
Any questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So in New York, our snowplows can basically get away with anything except intentionally running someone over and won't be liable. And as it relates to that, a lot of driveways have been damaged, concrete, things like that. People want the municipality or the government agency to pay for that, but government agency isn't liable. Would that fall within the purview of these loans potentially?
That's a very good question, Mr. Elba. I've not.
It's oddly specific.
I've not. But, it wouldn't hurt to talk to someone. I noticed today coming up 20, the big shields that people put in front of their mailboxes. Is that for the snowplows? Okay, so, yeah, I could see where that would happen, right? If a plow's going by 50 miles an hour or whatever, but.
Well, especially with the limited time frame here, rather than just denying people's claims, deny their claim and say, hey, be aware of this deadline, you can apply for relief here.
Yeah. Now, would insurance cover stuff? So you're saying like the apron of the driveway would get
Apron
damaged?
of the driveway, things like that.
Would homeowners cover that? See, so another thing is we won't cover anything that insurance has covered. So we encourage people to come in either, if you don't have to file for insurance before you talk to us, but if you did, when it all settles out, we're not going to cover what insurance does or other sources. So how would insurance, I guess it would depend on
I think it depends.
Yeah. And if that's in the public right away, yeah. It's a very good question. I can find out, but I would encourage someone to come in if they've got some significant damage. Again, we're here to help.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. First resolution tonight is permission to advertise for the tax cap override.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption to authorize the authorize Deputy Village Clerk to advertise for a public hearing for the tax cap override. Be it resolved, the Deputy Village Clerk is authorized to advertise for a public hearing. The public hearing will be held Monday, March 27, 2023 at 7 p.m. in the council chambers of Village Hall, 85 Manitow Street, Depew, New York, 14043. The purpose of this hearing is to consider local law number 3 for 2023, authorizing a property tax levy in excess of the limits established in the General Municipal Law, Section 3-C. And then I believe we don't have to read it.
I don't think you need to read the draft local law.
Okay.
But it is available in your agenda packet if anyone would like to review it.
I second the motion.
Need a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Adolph?
Yes.
Trustee Ziamba?
Yes.
Trustee Kusevich?
Yes.
Mayor Pearson?
Yes.
Passed.
This is a short one. Permission to advertise for the reorganization meeting.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. The Deputy Village Clerk is authorized to advertise for the reorganization meeting to take place on Monday, April 3rd, 2023 at 7 p.m. in Council Chambers, Village Hall, 85 Manitou Street, Depew, New York, 14043.
I second the motion.
A roll call vote, please?
Trustee Adolph?
Yes.
Trustee Ziamba?
Yes.
Trustee Kusevich?
Yes.
Mayor Pearson?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 3. Permission to advertise for the tentative budget.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following resolution and move for its adoption. Be it resolved, the Deputy Village Clerk is hereby authorized to advertise for a public hearing for the tentative 2023-2024 budget to take place on Monday, March 27th, 2023, in the Council Chambers, Village Hall, 85 Manitou Street, Depew, New York, 14043.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Resolution number 4, permission for the Depew Fire Department.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion to move for its adoption. This is for permission for the Depew Fire Department. Permission is hereby granted to the Aetna Hose Company to hold its annual chicken barbecue fundraiser on Saturday, June 3rd, 2023 from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. And permission is hereby granted to the Aetna Hose Company to hold its company children's Christmas party from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and members holiday party from 5 p.m. to midnight, both events to take place on Saturday, December 9th, 2023.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Also carried. Resolution number 5, permission to sign a Firefly agreement.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Whereas, the village is the sponsor of a Length of Service Award Program, LOSAP, on behalf of the Depew Fire Department in accordance with Article 11-A of the New York State General Municipal Law, GML, and whereas as required by GML 219-A2C, the Depew Fire Department has submitted the attached list certified under oath of active members of the fire department, indicating those volunteers who earned at least 50 points during 2022 to qualify for service credit. And whereas the certification made by the fire department includes a statement that the points recorded on the attached list have been tabulated in accordance with the point system adopted by the village to be in effect during calendar year 2022. And to the best of the knowledge of the fire department, it is true and accurate reflection of the activities performed by the active members. And whereas GML 219-A2D requires the Board of Trustees board to review the approved and attached list and then return it to the fire department to be posted for 30 days. And whereas the board has completed its review of the attached list. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Board of Trustees approves the attached list of volunteer firefighters of the Depew Fire Department and the points earned by these firefighters during calendar year 2022. Bless you.
Sorry.
Be it further resolved that a copy of this adopted resolution and the attached list shall be returned to the fire department for posting for a minimum of 30 days.
I second the motion.
Need a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Adolph?
Yes.
Trustee Ziamba?
Yes.
Trustee Kasevich?
Yes.
Mayor Pearson?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 6, adopt local law number 2, 2023, volunteer firefighters and ambulance workers tax exemption.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following resolution and move for its adoption. Whereas the Board of Trustees of the Village of Depew, New York held a public hearing on February 27, 2023 at 7 p.m. in the council chambers of the municipal building, 85 Manitou Street, Depew, New York, to consider the adoption of a local law for the volunteer firefighters and ambulance workers tax exemption. Whereas all persons were given an opportunity to speak for or against this local law. Now, therefore, be it resolved, this local law is hereby adopted. If adopted, the proposed local law shall read as follows. Village of Depew Local Law Firefighter Tax Exemption, Article 9. There's a copy available.
I second the motion.
Need a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Adolph?
Yes.
Trustee Ziamba?
Yes.
Trustee Kasevich?
Yes.
Mayor Pearson?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution number 7, award the bid for Depew Fireman's Park New Pavilion Geothermal Project.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the village engineer, the bid for the amount of $83,340 for the Depew Fireman's Park New Pavilion Geothermal Project is awarded to NOCO Energy, 2,440 Sheridan Drive, Tonawanda, New York, 14150.
I second that motion.
Need a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Adolph?
Yes.
Trustee Ziamba?
Yes.
Trustee Kasevich?
Yes.
Mayor Pearson?
Yes.
Carried.
Thank you. Resolution number 8, resolution prohibiting short-term rentals at 52 Middlesex, Depew, New York.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Whereas, at the October 24th, 2022, and the January 23rd, 2023 regular board meeting of the Village of Depew Board of Trustees, residents and neighbors of 52 Middlesex complained of numerous instances in which the property at 52 Middlesex, Depew, New York, was utilized as a short-term rental through the website Airbnb and resulted in a disorderly party which disturbed the peace, resulted in underage drinking, crime, the presence of stolen vehicles, excessive noise, and public intoxication. And whereas the minutes from the October 24th, 2022 and the January 23rd, 2023 regular board meeting of the Village of Depew Board of Trustees are attached hereto and made part hereof, and whereas the complaints detailed a threat to the safety, health, and peace of those residents and neighbors. As such, on February 21st, 2023, the owner of 52 Middlesex was cited for a violation of Depew Village Code, Section 160-3I. And whereas, pursuant to Depew Village Code, Section 160-8 and 1-10B, the Village Board of Trustees has authorized to enforce obedience of the code by injunction. Now, therefore, it is hereby resolved that the Village of Depew Board of Trustees issues an injunction prohibiting the owner of the property at 52 Middlesex from offering the property as a short-term rental for a period of 1 year.
I second that motion.
A roll call vote, please.
Trustee Adolf?
Yes.
Trustee Ziamba?
Yes.
Trustee Kasevich?
Yes.
Mayor Pearson?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 9, authorize the deputy village clerk to advertise for bids on the improvement of project Phase 6 of the DEC consent order.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion and move for its adoption. Be it resolved, the deputy village clerk is hereby authorized to advertise for bid of the sewer improvement project Phase 6 cap project CWSRF project C9-8884-03-00 on March 23, 2023. Sealed bids will be received and opened at 10 a.m. April 20th, 2023.
I second the motion.
A roll call vote, please.
Trustee Adolf?
Yes.
Trustee Ziamba?
Yes.
Trustee Kasevich?
Yes.
Mayor Pearson?
Yes.
Passed.
There were no employment applications received in the last 2 weeks. We had department head reports, the police department for February 2023.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make a motion that we accept the department head reports for the police for February 2023.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Item 12, unfinished and other business, there is none. 13 is public concerns and comments on anything. We'll first go to, we have Karen Howard from Senator Patrick Gallivan's office. Would you like to share anything?
I just want you all to know, enjoy the weather while you have it, because the senator and our chief of staff, they're on their way to Albany, and they're expecting 2 feet of snow there. So he wants us to tell him if anything's been canceled in Albany. So that's a change of events there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's good to be back. It really is.
Nice to see you, Karen. All right, we'll go around our departments here. So we'll start at building department.
So we are in the process of taking bids for demolition, reached out to demolition companies for 73 Main Street. I'm meeting with an asbestos company tomorrow to go over there and do an evaluation of the property. I know last meeting we talked about those temporary towers for the Verizon, and T-Mobile has reached out also. They were supposed to give me some type of paperwork to submit to you tonight, but I haven't heard from either of them. So I don't know what's going on with that there. Other than that, it's business as usual. Permits coming in, the season's starting to pick up now because everyone's expecting the weather to break early, I think. So that's it in a nutshell.
And within our last 2 weeks,
Pardon?
within our last 2 weeks, Kate, have you finished your study?
Yes, I have. I am officially a code enforcement officer.
Congratulations. Very good. Trustee Zimba has the police report.
The Depew Police Department report for the month of February 2023 is as follows. Criminal complaints, 76. Non-criminal complaints, 996. For a total complaint list of 1,072. One stolen automobile, one recovered stolen automobile. 0 outstanding stolen automobiles. Property damage reports, 35. One involving an injury, no fatalities. Male arrest, there was 14. Female arrest, there was 9. No juvenile arrests. Parking tickets issued, 217 parking tickets issued. Parking tickets disposed, 198. For total and fines of $5,950. Traffic summonses issued, 232. Value of property lost or stolen, $13,122. Value of recovered property, $10,000. Respectfully submitted.
On the other side of the table, Chief Gauthier from the Fire Department.
All right, thanks to anybody that came out and supported our junior fire department, firefighters, pancake breakfast over the weekend. It's a pretty good success for those young firefighters. And also thanks to anybody that supported our hook and ladder tool raffle that they recently had. I'd like to thank the board for changing us over to Firefly. It's a great help that will make some of our operations a lot easier. I'd also like to thank the board for the support in the volunteer firefighter local law for the tax exemption. Appreciate that. Fire calls for the month of January, we had 34. For the month of February, we had 26, and only 8 so far for the month of March. So it's a year-to-date total of 68 fire calls.
Okay. We'll go to Superintendent Ken Pick from DPW.
Good evening. Just a few quick things. Our break room that we're working on in Village Hall is just about complete. We will be grinding stumps from our tree removal. And just a reminder, the parking ban is going to end shortly, but if it does snow, kindly to move your cars off the street if at all possible.
Got enough salt left? Good.
You jinxed us.
Yeah.
I'm still sticking to that, Ken.
We're almost there. We're almost there.
Winter.
Our Recreation Director, Kevin Ferguson.
Good evening.
It's a big day for you this week, right?
Why is that?
Irish, right?
Yeah, I don't.
St.
I don't
Patrick's.
even wear green. Just a couple things too. As people have heard of this summer, we have problems getting lifeguards, but we already have. I have 11 lifeguards already coming back, which is pretty good. I get 2 calls today. Also, our partner over at the Lancaster Pool, Rich Fry, he's going to be teaching the class at the high school pool. So we'll have plenty of lifeguards. I don't think we have anything to worry about, which is a big worry off everybody's mind. Second of all, we have tryouts coming up. The rink will be closing probably in mid-April. So for tonight is the last skate for learning to skate. There's about 35 to 40 kids that are getting certificates. And if anybody wants to see pictures on Mayor Peterson's phone after the thing, you can take a look at it.
I don't want to take pictures.
You giving them a little certificate, are you?
Yeah, they'll get it. Yeah, they'll get certificates, yeah.
Good.
Yep. And that's about it.
Okay. Sam from Legal.
So we've got a couple local laws we're continuing to work on. There's evolving, robust discussions on what we should do to regulate short-term rentals. We came up with a quick fix tonight for our most problematic short-term rental. and hopefully that's effective. The plan is to send that resolution on to the folks at Airbnb, so hopefully they take the listing down. And then there's evolving discussions on how to regulate this properly. We're also working on just kind of having discussions around marijuana stores and how we're going to regulate those eventually. We've got a couple of Article 7 settlements coming through. One of the red flag law hearings coming up in a couple weeks with the police department. On a separate note, I went down a rabbit hole about Chauncey Depew and started researching Chauncey Depew, who our village is named for. And I learned that he was quite a popular orator. He was famous for talking at many events. He was like a Jeff Bezos of his day, but more public. And there's one story that stuck out that I kind of identified with. I think maybe I'm like Chauncey Depew in a little bit. So he was at dinner with someone who had a big belly, and he said to the man, you know, if that's a girl, I hope you name it after your lovely wife. And the man said, well, if it's a woman, a girl, I certainly will. If it's a boy, I'll name it Junior. But if it's a bunch of hot air, I'm going to name it Chauncey.
Was that on the flight to Florida last week?
Had some time on my hands last week. That's it from legal.
The past chief has a addendum to that.
Our historian.
I'd love to go see that. I'll have to get here early next time.
That's not going to happen. He's always late.
No. I was on time when we met at 6.
All right, we'll go to trustee Zimba. Anything?
Just congratulations, Kate.
Thanks.
That's all.
Trustee Adolph?
Well, I have good news. Our application was received from Tree City USA, and we are officially a Tree City for
Another year.
another year, 3 years. So,
Wow.
pretty great stuff. Happy to be working, with this program as we continue to beautify our village and create green space within it. So, thank you so much to everyone.
If I didn't know you better, I'd think that was sort of sarcastic, but
No.
I know you love trees.
No, yeah, I'm happy. We keep it going. It's great. We're recognized, throughout the United States as one. You can look up the names, and Depew falls in it, and it's a it's a national program, and I'm glad that we're recognized within that. So.
Where are you planning on putting that sticker?
So this goes on the sign that's in Fireman's Park. So it'll go over below the sign, and it'll read that, we've been a Tree City USA for 3 years now.
So with the trees, you're planting trees now regularly.
Yep.
We have funding for that.
Yep. We're very fortunate to have a DPW that assists us with that, so I'm very thankful to them as well.
And just as a note, we do have a memorial program that we started last fall, where if somebody wants to memorialize somebody, they can purchase one of like 8 or 9 trees, Regina, something like that. That falls into the categories.
8 or 9 varieties. You get one share. You get one tree. Yeah.
At the village price, and so they'll pay for it. They also have a couple of options as to the plaque that could go in front of the tree. I know we have 2 new trees by the welcoming sign by Burger King. That was put in there by Grant Castoni from Castoni Insurance. We have 3 that were planted in Veterans Park. Okay, so there's 3 for the Momot uncles. She wanted to recognize her 3 uncles. And then former Mayor Barb Alberti's family also has a tree in Veterans Park. So this is a way that we can encourage planting of trees, like say in Fireman's Park, which needs a lot of trees. So that's a program that's out there, and you can contact Regina in my office and get you the information if you're interested.
And since we're talking about trees, we ordered our seedlings and saplings for our Arbor Day celebration, so be on the lookout for that. We'll probably start advertising for that soon, as it'll be held in April. So hopefully we'll get a bigger turnout this year and keep that growing as well.
But we had trees, Paul, whereas Lancaster didn't have trees, right?
So we're gonna have trees again. We're gonna have trees. Made sure we ordered tulip trees, so.
Trustee Kasevich.
I just want to say thank you to Sam for putting together agenda number 8 on the short-term rentals, and thank you to the board for passing it. So, thank you.
Fireman's Park, the old long shed was taken down 10 days ago or so, and they went right to work digging the foundation. So I'm sure in the next week to 10 days, you'll start seeing some construction of the actual building, which is exciting. And tonight, passing the geothermal heating and air conditioning system puts us up the list on Climate Smart. That's worth another 700 points, which takes our total from 1,100 to 1,800, puts us in the top 8 of 35 municipalities. And it also will get us an initial $5,000 grant as well. So it was a win-win in getting that switched over. So with that, I'll open it up. Anybody has any questions of anybody? Chief Ron Maciejewski, 44 Kibler.
24?
24.
I did that last time too. I did that last time.
I'm consistent, though.
Good evening, board. I'm starting to feel like Paul. Just kidding, Paul. Just kidding.
Compliment.
So, I want to reiterate what Chief Gauthier said. Thank you to the board for passing the property tax exemption law. It's another tool that the volunteer fire service can use for recruitment and retention. And with that, I just want to bring the board up to date on some things that were sent out today by numerous organizations that the fire department belongs to. And they are budgetary items for the upcoming state budget. The one thing that really sticks out is in the beginning of this article, it's mentioned that there are 20,000 less volunteer firefighters today than there were 20 years ago. So the state is being very proactive in supporting the volunteer fire service by trying to pass different laws, different measures that would help with recruitment and retention. I was speaking with the representative from Senator Gallivan's office before the meeting, and I'm hoping this is a bipartisan project on a state level between the Assembly and the Senate. But the governor, in her budget, is including $10 million to create a firefighter training stipend to help train the volunteer fire service. She's also putting in to enable municipalities to option to provide nominal fees to volunteer firefighters for emergency response and training. It includes the addition of 22 new full-time employees to help further expand the availability, location, and frequency of firefighter training, which has been a problem, correct, Chief? Trying to get courses because of lack of instructors, lack of just people in general. So she is putting that in also. And again, the 10% property tax cap that, or property tax exemption that the board passed tonight. What our organizations are requesting, FASNY, Southwestern, Western, state chiefs, even county emergency services, is that everyone contact their local representatives, their local state senator, local assembly person, and reach out and ask them to, again, do this as a bipartisan measure and pass these proposals that are in the budget. There are a couple other things that will also benefit the volunteer fire service, but again, we need everybody's support for this. Thank you.
Thanks, Ron.
Thanks, Chief.
Anyone else? Anybody online? On YouTube? Not tonight, huh? All right. And we will move ahead then with claims and accounts.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, the claims and accounts have been audited by the Finance Committee and are approved for payment as follows.
10, general fund, $395, $966.62. 30, community development, 0. 50, sewer fund, $2,324.64. 80, capital projects, $2,056.25, for a total of $400,347.51.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And finally, adjournment.
Honorable Mayor and Board of Trustees, I make the following motion to move for its adoption. That we adjourn the meeting after a moment of silence for Buffalo firefighter Jason Arno.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And carried, and that's 7:53.